everything at the end. Once we wrap up, I'll be able to send that to you. Awesome. All right. Let's make sure we continue that. Okay. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Heidi. Love seeing you always. Heidi and I love to share quotes every single time we talk. So if you have any wonderful favorite quotes, drop them in also. Nargis, thank you for being here. Mike. All right, y'all. Keep on doing these chats. This is so wonderful. So one of the things that you can do to really take advantage of this, we have the chat feature where if you want to chat with someone specifically, private message them, on the chat feature, you can click on that button that says everyone, and you'll see all the names listed in there. So if you want to introduce yourself to someone new, if you want to just go, hey, I want to follow up with your organization, I think you're doing really epic stuff, that is your chance to really take advantage of that chat. Now, with that, I want to toss it over to Heidi to introduce Cameo and what we're all about.
Hi, everyone. How are you? My name is Heidi Pickman. I'm the VP of Programs and Policy. Great to see all of you here. I'm just going to do the quick Cliff Notes version, very Cliff Notes version of what Cameo is for those of you who don't know Cameo. We are a statewide network of entrepreneurial training programs and micro lenders. We run from San Diego all the way up to Wairika. We do capacity building. We have many programs to help you and your staff serve your clients. We do policy. We're working a lot on responsible business lending, and I think we're going to tackle that topic possibly this summer here with EA. We also play a convening role, which is part of our fostering ecosystems work that Entrepreneurship Advantage is all a part of. If next slide, please. Just want to let you know a couple of things that are going on at Cameo. Today at 3, we have a Train the Trainer on the grant fund. So if anybody is new to the grant fund, you can join us and ask questions. We do have a couple of already taped how-tos that we'll mention at the beginning of the Train the Trainer today. We also have an advocacy day coming up on June 8th. We hope that everybody will participate. It's virtual. It is mostly going to focus on state activity. And we have tons of great resources for you that you can access if you go to our website, which is cameonetwork.org. So now I would like to introduce Rocio Flores, who is on our steering committee for Entrepreneurship Advantage. Entrepreneurship Advantage is a program of Cameo, as I mentioned, part of our fostering ecosystems work. And I am going to turn it over to Rocio for more. Thanks, Rocio.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. So happy to be here with you all. So happy to see so many familiar faces, a few new faces. Thank you, Mega and Heidi, for hosting today. Like Heidi mentioned, I'm Rocio, and I work for the USC Office of Civic Engagement and Economic Partnerships. And the hat I wear really centers around small business program development, outreach, and managing our business accelerator program. So thank you so much for joining us. Next slide, please, Mega. Just to share a little bit with you about Entrepreneurship Advantage. We create economic opportunity for entrepreneurs and small businesses in LA County, and we do this by platforms such as this and connecting human, tech, and capital resources through this collaborative approach. And so for me, Entrepreneurship Advantage has been just really beneficial. I remember when I first heard about Entrepreneurship Advantage, I was like, what is that? I want to be there. I need to know what's going on. It's just a great place, a great way for everyone to connect and build relationships. And it's definitely had a great impact in the work that I do at USC. Next slide, please, Mega. So how do you get involved? We want to invite you and encourage you all to just stay connected with us. So please fill in the information there when you visit our website. I know Mega's going to drop that in the chat. And really the important thing is to try to be a continuous partner with us. So it's great that we have folks coming through this platform every month. We have this opportunity to convene virtually, hopefully in person one day, but just continue to stay connected with us. There's other opportunities. And again, because we are a network, a collaborative, there are other projects and programs that we can all get involved in. And I know that for me in my space, I definitely can't do what I do alone. It's definitely all done in partnership. And like I mentioned, this space here with EA has really proved very vital and critical to the work that we do at USC. Next slide, please. So this is our agenda for today. We went through the introductions. We're going to engage in this really awesome networking activity that Heidi will guide us through in a minute. And then we have the honor and privilege of hearing from Chris Horton with the Inclusivity Project, where he will share that it is an effort to address institutional and systemic barriers to Black entrepreneurship. I recently met Chris. We're going to sit on a panel next week with Novel California, so I'm excited to continue the conversation with him, and it's great to see him. And then our one of USC's longstanding partners, SCORE LA. We're going to be hearing from Laura and her team on how SCORE LA helps business owners through these challenges and how providing mentorship opportunities and support really helps to drive our local economy. Next slide.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Unfortunately, I've got to run off to a doctor's appointment. But thanks very much. My first breakout was fabulous, so I wish I could stay for the rest. But thanks very much.
I hope you connected with someone and connect more later.
Yes, that's what this I will. I will.
Okay, bye, Laura. It was nice meeting you.
Bye. Good to meet you.
Great. Do we have everybody back? Are we all closed out? I think so. Let's see. Does anybody? I heard from Larry. He had a great breakout session. Does anybody want to do a share? Can I get a volunteer to share a partnership? We could stop sharing for a sec.
This is Laura. I would be glad to share.
Oh, awesome. Go ahead.
One of the frustrations and the situation that people are in is trying to get the PPP loan again.
Uh-huh.
And
the second incarnation, right?
Second PPP distribution, and they're confused. There's a lot of confusion. And so I was on a chat with Elaine. Where are you, Elaine? I don't know if I can see her in here, but from the SBDC. And so she gave the gentleman, last name of Bledsoe, some good information about how to reach them.
Awesome. So a partnership made, collaboration made, networking. There you go. Love it. Well, with that, we're going to I'm going to boot it back to Rocio, who's going to introduce our first guest, who is king of partnerships and collaborations. So with that, Rocio, if you want to do the introduction and give Chris the floor.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Heidi. So again, I'm just honored to welcome Chris Horton, who is an Inclusivity Project Director. He's wholeheartedly committed to community prosperity. Chris brings the values of diversity and empowerment to a service as lending manager from the Northern California SBDC Finance Center, and also as a leader of the Inclusivity Project, where he provides access to capital, mentorship to entrepreneurs, with an emphasis on supporting the Black business economy. So without further ado, Chris, we're going to turn it over to you so you can share with us about the Inclusivity Project.
Awesome. Thank you, Rocio, and thank you, Cameo, for giving us this opportunity and this platform to bring this much needed initiative to the audience today. I'd like to take a moment and just kind of set the stage for the slide that we're going to go through. The Inclusivity Project is a 22nd century initiative leveraging the SBDC ecosystem for a better life for all Black and African Americans. This is SBDC's opportunity to build up Black communities through Black entrepreneurship. Every entrepreneur needs supportive conditions to flourish. For years, Black business owners and entrepreneurs have made invaluable contributions to communities across this country. They've done this most often while climbing the hill of inequities that they knew existed. Black and African-American entrepreneur success is essential to local economies and future prosperity. The COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted systemic barriers faced by Black entrepreneurs. On February 1, there were more than 1 million Black-owned businesses across this country. By mid-April, 440,000 of those closed their doors permanently. Many were mom and pop owner-operators, providing a livelihood to their families and the families of their employees. So if we can all just pause for a quick second and just imagine how many jobs were lost, how many families financially have been deprived because of that, how many children had their lives disrupted. Because of this, this was NorCal SBDC's call to action. It was the birth of the Inclusivity Project. NorCal SBDC activated this first ever Black Founders Initiative to help identify Black entrepreneurs' barriers to success. Then in partnership with Black-led community and business organizations, nonprofits and financial institutions, pave a pathway to financial freedom, financial security, and financial stability. The vision is to be the catalyst for Black business, capitalism, and wealth creation. The concierge to Black business experts, helping Black businesses take advantage of the free enterprise system, creating the circulation of capital into Black communities. The vision is to be the change agent for Black business enterprises and entrepreneurship. This initiative can help hundreds of thousands of Black business owners and entrepreneurs start, grow, or expand their businesses. This initiative will advance equitable access to one-on-one advisory services, access to capital, mentorship, financial planning services, and business training that will crystallize wealth creation. While this progressive and forward-thinking initiative is a start in the right direction, as we all know, much more needs to be done to better help Black business owners and entrepreneurs facing barriers in their pursuit of happiness. The NorCal SBDC network is committed to working closely with Black business owners through a public-private cooperative of resources that reflects the realities and needs of Black business owners and entrepreneurs. There can be no real equity without a level playing field for economic opportunity. When Black entrepreneurs and people of color are denied adequate infrastructural support, their business cannot reach its full potential. The different perspectives of Black entrepreneur is based on the fact that Blacks encounter different problems within Black communities and consequently see different solutions. America's SBDC, the Inclusivity Project. And in closing with this, the mission is to assist Black-owned, Black women-owned, Black disabled and veteran-owned businesses in underserved and socially disadvantaged communities. So thank you for letting me share that with you. Next slide, please, Megan. So as I said earlier, facing institutional and systemic barriers, those things that prevent, the creative of an entrepreneur or a founder being able to pursue happiness, have a quality of life that they can provide for themselves, for their children, and socially contribute back to the community. Next slide. Our objectives, 4 key matrix. One is to invite 1,000 Black-owned entrepreneurs into our ecosystem so that they can receive the one-on-one advising. What's really neat is that we've changed for this Inclusivity Project the length of time that folks can work with an SBDC Inclusivity Project advisor. It's typically a scope of work of 10 hours. We now are offering a lifetime of coaching, mentoring, and working with folks. We realize that there's a long business life cycle, and we want to be there to support any opportunities or any challenges that are faced. We want to help launch and start 100 new Black businesses. It's a drop in the bucket when you think about 440,000 that we lost, but it's making an effort moving in the right direction. We're focused and committed to 50% of these businesses that we start are Black women-owned businesses as well. And we want to help connect folks, get connected with $100 million in small business financing. I want to be very clear because we've gotten some feedback This isn't a grant program. This is looking for capital, access to capital through means of, loans, startup, equipment financing, expansion financing, and things like that. And last, it's really important for us to create generational wealth for Black and African Americans to leave a legacy. Next slide, please. There's two ways for folks to participate. One, if you're an existing SBDC client, then there's a survey for you to sign up and join the challenge, and just let us know, how you want to get engaged with the Inclusivity Project. If you're currently working with an SBDC advisor, it doesn't discontinue that relationship. It just expands upon what we're going to be able to help you out with. And then if you're new, you're just going to visit theinclusivityproject.com. That's our website, and you would just join the challenge there. Next slide. Eligibility and benefits to participate, open to all business types at all stages. Before it was difficult for us to be able to work with Preventure because it was going to be a longer process. We realized that, and we want to be able to support those creatives with ideas as well. As I said earlier, this is a lifetime. There's no cost for the consulting, advising, mentoring, any of the educational programs we're going to be putting together. Your taxpayer dollars have already paid. This is an investment you've already made in this business opportunity that you have. We're going to help access startup and expansion capital, like I said, and we're going to advocate for your business success. Next slide. This is just a handful of partners that have seen the value, and based on the media and statistics, see the need for the Black and African American entrepreneur founders. And so we've collectively partnered with a number of different amazing organizations to support this effort. Next slide. And here, this is where you get to choose the opportunity that presents itself for you, how to engage, how to be a part of the Inclusivity Project. Number one for us is getting the word out and getting folks involved, engaged. So the center of everything that we're doing is a client pipeline. Operational funding to be able to support the financial need for the work that we're doing. Program partnerships like the one we have with Cameo is amazing. And then again, just promoting and letting folks know that this opportunity presents itself. Next slide. There you go. So I'll turn it back to you, Rocio. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you so much, Chris. Does anybody have any questions? I don't think I saw any in the chat, but we do have a couple minutes for a question. If you want to unmute yourself or raise your emoji hand so we can see you, we can take a question or two. Is that Heidi? Are you raising your hand?
Yeah, I can't put the emoji.
It's okay.
I think that the emoji is okay. I don't know. I don't see the raise hand one on mine. I think I know. It's on the reactions button. There we go. I raised my hand.
All right, go for it.
So, Chris, can you give an example of an organization you're partnering with?
Absolutely.
Like say, hey, we're doing this, they're doing this, and this is how we're partnering. Business, one of our, business service organization.
Sure. So, I give you a great example is like NorCal Financial Development Corporation, which is part of iBank and GoBiz. They have about 40 different financial institutions that have agreed to be a part of this Inclusivity Project because they realize some of the challenges that some of these businesses will have and face in seeking financing, regardless of what stage that they're on. So being able to have a partnership like that where we have financial institutions that are willing to do micro lending, to do traditional lending, but the iBank program through NorCal FDC, providing that guarantee to encourage financial institutions to want to do lending. So that's a great partnership and a great example. Another quick one for you, Heidi, would be Lendistry. Lendistry is amazing. They have an on-demand curriculum of courses that will allow folks at any stage, from HR to access to capital to marketing, to how to build your brand and how to write a business plan. So Lendistry's been a great partner as well. And naturally, Cameo has always been amazing to partner with as well. So thank you.
We're just trying to help you get the word out.
Right.
Thank you so much, Heidi. All right, I think we had Frank, and then we'll do Elaine.
Okay, thanks, Rosia. Yeah, my question, Chris, is the program regional or is California based?
That's a great question. When we were initially starting, Frank, it was just for Northern California, the Northern California SBDC network, where we have the 36 northern counties and 18 centers. Within 2 days of the program, the entire state of California came on board and it became a statewide program. Within 2 weeks after that, Frank, it became a national program. It's called the Inclusivity Challenge at the national level. And the reason why we did it that way is because some of our communities around the country don't have a Black demographic. And so if you have Native American, Hispanics, the Asian community, we have some folks that want to be able to help the LGBTQ. It's an inclusivity project. So the national level is the Inclusivity Challenge. And if it's Black and African American communities, it's the Inclusivity Project.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Chris. All right, Elaine, I don't see you anymore, but I think there you are.
I actually just had the same question, but he just answered it, so we're good.
Awesome, great. Any other questions? I think we have time for one more. Chris, I'll ask one of my own. So if folks want to get connected with you directly, is the best way to email you? If there's other opportunities or platforms where you can come and speak about the project, we'd love to know. Is it just a simple email and we coordinate that with you?
Absolutely. Email is quickest, and I'm happy to put my email and I'll put my cell phone in the chat. I'm always on, so text message, because I do a lot of these. So if you shoot me a quick text message, then I can give you a call back. I'm doing a lot of calls with clients, with our advisors, and with partners. So a quick response would be a text, shoot an email. I have 2 executive assistants that monitor email throughout the day for me. So definitely email and text message.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We definitely want to get more connected with you at USC, so I'll be calling you. Thank you, everybody, for your questions. And thank you, Chris, again, for sharing that with us. So now we are going to move on to our presentation for SCORE Los Angeles chapter. And I'm more than happy to introduce Laura Geller. She has been the chapter chair of SCORE for the past 2 years. Prior to retiring, she was president of a private college serving approximately 2,500 students. And her experience includes being a director of HR at Sony Pictures Entertainment, and many years at FIDM and Broadway department stores. She has a background in HR. She continues to do consulting. And her last assignment in 2017 was acting VP of HR at Otis College of Art and Design. She is a really amazing, wonderful person to work with. I've had the honor of working with her for the last year or so as well. And so I will now turn it over to Laura and her team.
Thank you very much for that introduction, Rocio, and it's a pleasure to work with you as well. Am I unmuted? Okay.
You're good.
All right. You want to go to the next slide, because I know we're kind of pressed for time. What I want to do is talk about SCORE. As many of you know about SCORE, and I just want to mention, Chris, that SCORE LA is also doing some regional work throughout the state of California, so I would like to contact you. But our mission is to foster vibrant small business communities through mentoring and education. We are a mentoring organization. So you can see that we've been in operation for over 50 years, and we're all volunteers. Many of us have been there and done that. So next slide, please. All right, you can see here that the kind of work we do, but through constant contact, we email over 30,000 people with our workshops as well. So they're listed on our website at losangeles.score.org. And if you go to the next one, we are a nationwide organization, and right now we have over 14,000 volunteers. So we are what is called One SCORE, so people can look up backgrounds of anybody in the country that they're interested in talking to. And we do a lot of co-mentoring, so as needed. For instance, if I don't have it in my wheelhouse as to what a client wants, then we can look up somebody around the country. But the most important thing, if you go to the next slide, is the impact that we have had on the community. the new businesses started. Now this because of One Score and the fact that we have, we're mentoring nationwide. 2,849 new businesses were served and 6,828 new jobs were created. So the total chapter services, that means everybody we've talked to and mentored, 12,958. So that's the total mentoring sessions and total workshop attendees. And that's one thing with the COVID-19 business that we have been struggling with. So we've all been on Zoom, but 85% of the clients would recommend SCORE to family and friends. 82% of the business clients were still in business at the end of 2020. And 75% of all clients indicate SCORE is important to their business success. So go to the next slide, if you would. And this is some of the things that our expertise is in. So we have experts in the following area. If you want to go to the next one. At the benefits of free mentoring. Now during COVID-19, we've had to go online, but our offices are cafes, Starbucks, whatever the mentor wants to do, but we've been there and done that. And there's a lot of templates on our website and prompts to help business owners think through a plan. We try to get people to write a business plan, but there's lots of work for them available, lots of prompts available. I'm going to go to the next slide. And we have a lot of free resources. Whoops, let's see. Tools for business success. You can see that we have a resource library on our score.org and losangeles.score.org. We do live webinars, and we do charge for some, but one of the initiatives that we're doing is trying to reach out to underserved areas. And so we're doing some free workshops because First Foundation Bank has given us a very nice grant, and we're going to use that to give free workshops to underserved areas based on zip code. Score.org, the national organization, has recorded webinars and courses on demand. There's blogs and articles and data reports and infographics, and people can sign up for the SCORE newsletter on score.org online. I want to go to the next slide. I reviewed these numbers, so if you want to go to the next one. Next slide.
What SCORE really has to offer is experience. You know, from individuals who have gone through that journey, and it really saves people a lot of time. And that's what we want to do. We want to keep people on track and out of trouble and keep them progressing through that journey. So they make it a smart and profitable journey for themselves.
This has given you the SCORE address, and we're a resource of the SBA like the SBDC, but I wanted to collaborate with the Inclusivity Project if possible, because through our diversity and inclusion initiatives, we want to serve LA in a better way. So we would like to attract minority mentors. So to apply to be a mentor, you can go to score.org and become a volunteer. I mentioned the First Foundation grant that we were given. We are also partnering with Loyola Marymount University's Ascend program, which I'm very pleased to say that we're going to work alongside their professors and be involved in mentoring from our mentors with the real world experience. Ascend is going to have a cohort of 30 women and minority business owners that were selected by the group, by Loyola Marymount, out of 1,400 applicants. And they're going to learn about entrepreneurship, and we're going to help support that. So we're very excited about that collaboration. Also, another collaboration we're doing is with small craft makers in Santa Monica. So to let you people know that that's coming online too. Watch for people who are small craft makers are able to do low-cost rentals in the Santa Monica business area. and have a storefront to sell their goods. So that's something that we're doing as well. But SCORE is a really amazing organization, and we are happy to be able to present this to Cameo. And let me turn it back over to Mega. Is that, and see if there's any questions. Anybody have any questions?
Yes, thank you, Laura. So I'll take it here. Is there any questions that anybody has? I don't think I saw any in the chat, but feel free to raise your live hand or your emoji hand, whichever feels more comfortable, to ask any questions of Laura. Laura, so if the folks want to connect with you, I think what also, I'll just interject here a little bit, and what's been helpful with our partnership is the opportunity to share with your mentors the work that we're doing. And so it's really created this really nice dynamic of referring to each other, right? So I think if folks have an organization in which they also serve as small business owners, that you and your team are very open to working together to refer small businesses to other resources that you know can also be helpful, and vice versa.
Well, just to go back a little bit, don't go back to the slides, Mega, but the last slide was of one of the volunteers who was talking about her experience with SCORE. And if you go to the YouTube channel for SCORE, there are lots of people out there that have given testimonials about the work of what it means to be a SCORE volunteer. And it's really important work, and we're supporting the SBDCs, and we support USC Civic Engagement by sending their emails, and the LISC organization by sending their monthly newsletters or out to all of our mentors so they can take advantage of some of the opportunities and loans and grants that are offered by those organizations. So we're all really there to help the entrepreneur. So it's been our pleasure to be able to present to the Cameo group. And I'm sure you've all heard of SCORE before.
Thank you, Laura. I think we have a question or comment from Heidi.
Yeah, I want to hear more about the Santa Monica project. We sort of touched on it based on in the very beginning when we got on the call. So I used to live in Santa Monica, and when I lived in the Southern California, I live in Northern California now. But I'd love to hear more about that program and how the organizations on here can either send their clients or partner with you all on that. How does that work?
It's just in the formation stages. And we just had a call recently of a lot of the constituents that would be interested in doing this. And the idea is that many of the large office corporations are going to release some of their space. So they're going to be along these alleys, art alleys in Santa Monica. Now, I probably shouldn't speak for the group, but we're part of that organization that through our mentorship, we'll be able to refer people to them. But they're trying to put this thing together. And I said they really have to work with their city planning department because I used to work in Santa Monica and I know how difficult it is to get through city planning. However, small craft makers would have a storefront to sell their goods in the Santa Monica area if they are interested. And so watch for some information coming about that. It's in its infancy.
Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you, Heidi, for your question. I'm going to turn it over to Megan now. I think we have a fun poll for everybody before we end our time together. So thank you both.
Thanks, Rocio. Chris, Laura, thank you for speaking. You know, whenever we're talking about EA and building this family, I really want to get to know you all as we really develop plans and coordination of these events for you. So I'm going to launch this poll and figuring out how can we support you. We've got a couple of questions, whether you need connections with our members, steering committee members, or would you like to speak about your organization? Our connection here ultimately is to really make sure that we are a family, a unit of being able to reference and refer to each other. So this is the question. So if you can answer that, I'll give you a minute.
Put on your fun music again.
All right. Do you guys all see it?
Yes, we saw it.
Perfect.
I don't see the poll because I'm logged on as a host.
I think something's blocking your screen, Mega. I don't know if that's just on my end. There we go.
All right. Let me know when you all have voted. I'm going to end the poll shortly. Give you another 20 seconds. All right. All right. 10. All right. I'm going to end the poll shortly. One moment. Perfect. Might have been a technical issue on my end. Doesn't look like anybody voted on my end. But if you do have a particular question, suggestion, you want to speak to me, please reach out to me as well as Lisa here, our newest team member. Here's our email in our chat. But also, we do have some news. We have a public LinkedIn for EA, which is great now because now all the information is new. You can share it out to your friends, your colleagues, your peers. It is here on the chat. You can save it, bookmark it, and make sure you check it out. But also, remember, all our events coming up next month are prepped in advance. You can check our website, which is entrepreneurshipadvantage.org. We have a special guest next month, Elaine Rodriguez, who is a business advisor at the LA SBDC, as well as the Economic Development Collaborative. She will talk about tech and self-care, so you won't want to miss that. Last link on the chat is going to be next month's registration. So book it now so you get all the emails and everything. Want to say thank you to all of you for joining our Entrepreneurship Advantage Collaborative here. I hope you have a lovely Thursday and a wonderful weekend.